Happy Chinese New Year, everyone! 恭喜发财! I hope everyone's having a good year so far, and I hope by the time this video is out, government hasn't rolled out any cooling measures to spoil the festive mood. Why? Because I said many times, we are asking for it. Want every launch chong 80-90% and want to pay record price after one, after another. I'm still gonna hop over it. You know what you did in Ori will reflect in Q1 2025 price index, right? Bet you don't know. And as if the situation cannot get any worse, guess who is launching next? Parktown Residences. But the Parktown Residences is overshadowing a horse riding just beside it. And it's also not too bad a property, you know. What is the unfortunate development that will launch at the same time as Parktown? It is the final jigsaw to the Clementi Avenue 1 trilogy. This, like in mahjong terms, it is like the Kalong unit in between. And that is none other than Elta. I'm pretty sure the developers MCL Land must be having a sense of deja vu. Why? Because back in November, when they were the first to announce the launch of Nava Grove, EOK and Chuan Park decided to clash their launches together. This time around, Elta announced first, and then Parktown decided to have some fun, or rather to join the fun. So I ask you, is East or West better? Disclaimer, when I do a resale video, I usually would have gotten my clients and YouTube peeps out there like yourself who reach out to me first dibs on the options before I do a content online. Which also means that within my close networks, you will get first mover details on the deals that I feel is very good on the resale market based on different budgets. And today, I've decided to set up a brand new community in Telegram that allows you to join for free, at least for now, where I will be giving you early dips on deals that we might have spotted early before market moves. Why? Because I focus quite extensively on resale properties. And it is also in this close network, or rather community, that I can openly about new launches or any other resale properties that I'm not allowed to do so online because I'm an agent by profession. And if I do that, that will land me in trouble. So in there, it's going to be no holds barred. So if you're keen to join us, please feel free to scan the QR code here, and if that's too difficult, I have attached the link in my description. With that, you're probably a couple of clicks away from getting a value that I promise you will benefit you. Okay, back to it. And for the benefit of trying to be more objective with this video, I will dive straight to the important points that you should watch out for Elta using our QPE framework. I will not talk about what food is good, what rental, what first mover, what second mover thinking. I'm sure you can check out all the other videos. At the end of this video, I will talk about my strike price range and what works. So make sure to stay all the way till the end. Let's go. Some basic information about Elta, MCL Land and CSC Land bought the land in November 2023 at 1250 per square foot per plot ratio. It is slightly higher than the price they paid for the Nava Grove at 1223 per square foot per plot ratio. This one is very interesting. Can I ask you guys, isn't Mount Sinai and Ulu Pandan more atas than Clementi? Don't you guys think so? Anyway, that's just food for thought lah. What does it mean for the price? Stay till the end of the video. So using the QPE framework, first circle, quality, first point, land size, facilities and facade. Elta sits on a 178,000 square feet piece of land. That's actually quite a sizable plot of land. Almost the same as Clermont and much bigger than Clement Canopy. 2 towers, 39 stories high that has a north-south orientation that is going to look exactly like the configuration of, I think, Clermont. Pool at the front, obviously to create certain setback between the units and the highway. You also get a tennis court. For this kind of land size, you usually have it lah. Full condo facilities, what you need in a condo, you will have it. I don't wish to dwell too much on this point. Good designs overall. Watch other videos if you want to have a better idea of every single facilities available. Next point, which I will spend more time on, the layouts. And before I start analyzing the floor plans, I feel that most of the sizes here are tad too big again. But not all lah, too big in a way that as we transit into a post-harmonization era, there should be a size advantage. But in this case for Elta, not only does it not have an advantage, it is so much bigger. Now when that happens, and given that per square foot is meant to be higher, the entry level could be a worry because ultimately Clementi is still quite a mass market neighborhood that people will probably be more hard up about prices than getting little things here and there that is bigger. I'm sure some will appreciate the larger size, but that should be the minority given that entry level is still key in a mass market neighborhood. We'll talk about that at the end, so I thought I will clear that first. First up, 1 plus study, 506 square feet. I can't care less, move on. 2 bed, 1 bath. Next, 614 square feet, 2 stacks, one at the north and one at the south facing. Now, this one has the advantage of a harmonized project. Reasonable size that should feel like a 689 or 678 square feet if we were in the past. Good dumbbell layout, which is the standard these days. Rooms looks like they should be no more than 9 square meter, no windows on the side of the kitchen. Pretty standard stuff. Next up, 700 square feet, 2 bed, 2 bath. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. For projects these days, 700 square feet would be a 2 plus study, but not for Elta. In theory, a sweet spot actually should be between 657 to 689 square feet. Now, this builds like the 2 bed, 1 bath dumbbell layout, so the 80 square feet extra should be going to the additional bath and to a certain extent a slightly larger living room space too. Also, 2 stacks facing north and south. Next, 2 plus study, 807 square feet. Okay, this is, as what I mentioned, it is too big by today's standard. It should be about 700 square feet. They should have done it like Ori, because 807 square feet is just too big in my humblest opinion. The rooms also don't look like super big, so I suppose most of it goes to the living room space. 1 stack facing south, can't fault the layout, but I can fault the space. Next up, the 3 bedroom compact, 926 square feet. This size is just about right. Proper 3 bedrooms where you can fit in queen, king, a kitchen that has a window opening, toilet also all the same, no AC latch at the room side, so this is a plus point. Overall, this is a really efficient layout, so I expect this to sell pretty well as there are many north facing. 3 bedroom premium next, 1023 square feet. Very good square feet space. This is on a floor plan, a 3 plus study, but in theory, the study can double as like a maid's room. So this is still a normal like 3 premium unit. Very interesting dumbbell layout. Very few developers dare to design it in this manner. Good flow to the house, dry and wet kitchen that opens up to the AC latch, so it should be a very bright house 24/7. I personally like the 3 compact unit. I think like the 3 compact unit, this will sell well as there's only 1 stack. 4 bedroom next, 1184 square feet. Now, this is actually how a harmonized unit should look like. And I also don't know how you squeeze in so much space into a size like this. Proper bedroom space, all rooms can fit in a queen size bed, dry and wet kitchen, and 2.5 toilets, just only 1 stack that is facing the southern side. This is going to move very well too, as the smaller size in general will mean that the entry level will be very palatable because the next size above that is going to be fairly big. And it resembles the layout at Nava Grove quite some bit, the 1335 square feet. I get it that in a neighborhood as atas as Mount Sinai, building bigger stuff might work better for developers, but as mentioned again, Clementi is quite mass market. And that is a tad too big at 1313 square feet. It feels like you're essentially getting much bigger space on paper for a 3rd bathroom and probably a slightly bigger living and dining. That's about it. Also 1 stack facing towards the northern side. Next up, the 4 bedroom dual key, like the one at Nava Grove, I don't care and I don't even want to bother analyzing it. Last 4 bedroom type, the 4 plus study, 1507 square feet. That is big, man. Same thing, the living room looks slightly bigger here. Room should be about the same size. You get an additional study and a slightly longer entrance into the house itself, I think. Other than that, nothing too fanciful about this layout, just that it is too big. You will see at the end how that might work against you, okay? Which brings me to the final bedroom type, which is always going to be the best looking one, the 5 bedroom unit at 1776 square feet. Layout's amazing, but need 1776 square feet so big or not? Even bigger than Nava Grove. Nava Grove also managed to squeeze in at least a private lift. This one doesn't have. So from the looks of it, the living and dining should be quite massive. Nice powder room at the side, 5 bedroom with almost all ensuite on its own. Kitchen is a little bit small for a size like this, but other than that, this is quite solid. As per all premium unit, this has only 1 stack facing the AYE on a higher floor, probably facing the sea. Very nice, but I still cannot get my head out of Nava Grove. That was still the best. It's fine, I can say it here since the developers are the same. All in all, the layouts are actually very nice, very standard, and I can't really nitpick on any except from one little bit to work here. It will likely put pressure on your sales process only one. And the sizes you can see for some are really too big. And when it's too big, it's good and bad. Good is you get a good space in the house. Bad thing is your entry level will certainly be a notch above. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Okay, moving on to point number 3, location, MRT and amenities. We are not that near to the MRT, but it is in the Clementi Avenue 1 location where the siblings of Claremont and Clement Canopy has been performing very well in the past few years. There isn't much to shout out other than the fact that you are located in one of the more upmarket HDB clusters in Clementi. Last point, views. North facing overlooks NUS High and towards the HDBs. No big deal. On the lower floors of the south facing, you will get a pretty decent view of the pool and facade, but on the higher floors, you should be able to get a very open and scenic view of the entire west coast with quite a fair bit of sea view. Of course, the noise here will be buy one get one free sort of things to take note like East Coast. All in all, the first circle of quality, MCL Land has been building pretty good stuff in recent years, and this is no exception. It is not a condo that will have a healthy resale volume down the road. Layouts are very good too, but like Parktown, it is a tad too big for a harmonized plot, which doesn't do you any favor for a mass market product. Moving on to second circle, exit strategy. So who are my target audiences? Well, that's pretty straightforward. Upgraders coming from the Merchant Estate of Clementi. Again, this is the same for even the likes of Park Clementis. The flats in Clementis are very expensive, which means that the next group of buyers will likely have the financial means to move to Elta unless it becomes too expensive. For schools, unfortunately, we fall outside of the sought after Nanhua. You have, although NUS High right in front of you, but that's usually not a consideration for families looking into the neighborhood. I would like to shout out to my niece Cassandra if you're watching, because she's studying there. The people there are just too smart. You got a hell of a career lined up for you guys. Just don't nerd out. Now, no notable transformations in the area. Not as if I care, as the area by default already attracts so many people, so why do you even need transformation? For competition in and around the neighborhood, you are competing mainly with the likes of your brothers and sisters in Claremont and Clement Canopy. Further down, you have the best of best, in my opinion. There's Park Clementis, Triling and Regent Park to contend with. Now, that's not a lot of competition to begin with. So all in all, for exit strategy, a mature estate will always have pent-up demand. This is like the Tua Payoh, and you see how Ori performed. Clementi will not be short of suitors, that's for sure. The exit is solid. Which brings us to the most important point here, price. Developers got this at 1250 per square foot per plot ratio. If I use the Ori as a gauge, they bought their land at 1360 per square foot per plot ratio and sold at a starting price of 2400 per square foot, with the average hitting 2700 per square foot and the highest touching 3000 per square foot. MCL Land also got Nava Grove at 1221 per square foot and also sold at a price of 2002 starting from, and hit an average of 2450 per square foot and at a high of 2700 per square foot. Now at 1250 per square foot PPR, if MCL Land is serious in selling, I believe they should float a starting price of between like maybe 2300 to 2350 per square foot and sell at an average of 2550 per square foot thereabout. And given it is clashing its launch with Parktown, I believe they might go slow with being too aggressive with its price adjustment. Seeing how it is a high rise similar to Ori, I'm pretty sure, almost certain, that the starting from will be for the lower levels leading up to probably like under level 8. And then you'll start to see the developers loading the premium on the mid to higher floors with probably the highest slotting like maybe 2750 per square foot, maybe 2008. That's just a wild guess on my end. For pricing, let's look at what sort of new launch Elta will compete with at equal level. And the only notable new launch, in my opinion, we can take reference from will be from Nava Grove. But I feel that Nava Grove is less mass market than Elta. Whether is it more suitable for you at the Ulu Pandan or Clementi, I guess is very subjective, but the pricing should mirror one another, so there isn't really much to compare with on the new launch side. On the resale front, this gets more interesting. I will just pit myself against Clement Canopy and Claremont, then against the King of Kings in Park Clementis. Now, Clement Canopy sells their 2 bedrooms at around $1.4 million, while Cleveland has already hit close to $1.65 million. Park Clementi's, the best, transacts around $1.55 million averagely. Now, if Elta hits, let's say, $2,450 per square foot, we are looking at around $1.71 million. I think that still seems fair. But if it starts to test $2,600 to $2,700 per square foot and at a range of between $1.8 to $1.9 million, you know your risk instantly increases. But as your risk increases, your fee also get better lah. So please weigh up your priorities. Now, for 3 bedroom premium, $2,400 per square foot multiplied by 1023 for Elta, should be about $2.5 million thereabout. Park Clementi's has already hit $2.4 million. Cleveland 2.5, Clement Canopy 2.2. So at 2,400 per square foot, which I feel could be lower if your balloting number is good, the price is quite in line with the rest of the competition, but you're the newest lah. And for the 3 bedroom in particular, the layout is very unique with the dumbbell configuration. Very rare, hence I think the 3 bedroom will be a hit. For the 4 bedroom type, there are 2 types at Elta. One is the 1184 square feet as mentioned, which is like the extended version of the 3 bedroom 1066 square feet, and the larger 1313 square feet at 2,400 per square foot, because size is much bigger, means we're talking about $2.85 million all the way to potentially $3.15 million. Now, Park Clementi's transacts close to $3 million already. Cleveland hits about $2.8 million, and the Clement Canopy touched, I think, close to about $2.6 million. Now, with this price range, you will probably think that the smaller 4 bedrooms will sell the best, as the quantum is almost similar to surrounding resales. But if you really want the space, then the larger 1313 square feet doesn't feel too far off in comparison at potentially about $3.15 million. Now, the Elta 4 bedroom dual key, I don't really care as usual. The 4 plus study, 1507 square feet is too big, so the quantum will easily touch $3.5 to $3.6 million. At this level, I might as well just go to get a 5 bedroom in other RCR area, like Ori or even Nava Grove 4 bedroom premium with private lift. That's why I said if a harmonized plot doesn't have the harmonized advantage, then the entry level might be an issue, and in this case, it shows very clearly. On to the last one, the 5 bedroom 1776 square feet, 2,400 per square foot on it. We are potentially looking at $4.2 million. Now, Clement Canopy doesn't have any 5 bedrooms to begin with. Clement only has like, I think, 36, and none has transacted in recent times. Even if they sell, I'm guessing it should sell around $3.5 to $3.6 million. Park Clementi's did just at about $3.5 million, but that's already about 1 year back. At $4.2 million, Elta will really be setting new highs for the Clementi area and by quite a considerable margin. Like all the other competitions, as mentioned, there's no private lift for this unit type. And even if the price is $2,400 per square foot, you're instantly open to the amazing 5 bedroom option at Nava Grove that is the same price, but it's a whole different animal altogether. Rooms are bigger, kitchen is bigger, quieter, private lift. So yeah, 5 bedrooms, I just can't see how this will beat Nava Grove. So in conclusion, if we were to draw a line of 2,450 per square foot for the smaller units and 2,400 per square foot for the larger units, I believe the price is extremely fair for the 2 to 4 bedrooms, although only a selected 4 bedroom type units. As mentioned, I strongly believe the starting price will be lower than this, but the 2,450 per square foot put out there is just a number that I feel is safe for us to stress test against. Of course, my strike range will be lower, the merrier, but anything below 2,400 per square foot is not too expensive at all in current market conditions. Again, the Elta will preview on the 7th of Feb and launch on the 22nd. There will be a lot of hype taken away from it as all eyes will be at Parktown. But if you're someone who is particular about location and think West is the best, then you might want to pay closer attention to Elta. And because I'm sure developers are well aware of competition, it should work pretty well for buyers out there, as the prices might be managed a little bit more downwards as much as possible. Also, if you're wanting to visit these 2 developments but don't have anyone to guide you along the way, here are my details, and of course the service is free in any case. So will Elta capture a certain market share on buyers looking to buy something at the start of the snake year? I think yes, they will do so if the price hits the range of 2,003 to 2,400 per square foot. If you can touch this range, just go for it. And this is really going to be an exciting month of February, and I really think the strong showing on both is just going to only intensify the rumors of an intervention. Hence, don't be the creator of your own downfall. Please, please, please buy safe. Don't FOMO. Compose yourself a little bit, got a bit of standard, because there will always be something better down the road, even if your balloting numbers sucks for both. Okay, but I ask you again, is East or West better? In this case, is Elta or Parktown better?